Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the FQ Show, episode 20 ahead of the NPL, FQPL1 and FQPL2 grand finals this weekend. I actually caught up with all 6 teams ahead of the big weekend in the finals, the 2022 finals series, and just get their thoughts ahead of the big matches. Starting things off, we talked to Olympic and Gold Coast Knights. Alrighty, we're here with the big one, the NPL Men's Grand Final that is this Saturday evening at 7:30 at Perry Park. I'm joined here today by Austin Ludwig and Steve White, both captains of Gold Coast Knights and Olympic respectively. Lads, how are we today?
Good mate, good, happy to be here.
Not bad.
Fantastic. Obviously looking forward to a great matchup, a rematch of the 2019 Grand Final. You boys excited?
Yeah, very excited obviously. It's the final, it's the big dance, it's the grand final, so it's what we play for and why we want to do it and get down here, so.
Yeah.
5 times for me, so you know, the emotions.
Been there, done that, let's go.
So hopefully we can this time take away the trophy.
Yeah. I'll get started in just talking a bit about yourselves. Obviously you've been around the Queensland leagues for a number of years now. So Austin, you played a lot on the Gold Coast and in between your stints from the US colleges and whatnot. So how's that been and now being at Knights?
So I was, born and raised on the Gold Coast. So through the juniors, I played at numerous different clubs, and then back then there was like the Gold Coast rep system. So I played in that as I got a little bit older. Before the QAS picked me up at about the 13s, 14s, I was with QAS for a few years there, and then that kind of transitioned into the Royal Youth.
Yeah.
That was kind of the progression back then. So I kind of followed the steps for the Queensland system back then as a junior player. And then leading into the senior system, I left the Royal Youth at about 18 and actually went over to the US and did the college thing there. But I would come back here and that's when I had my kind of senior football with the Queensland NPL or Football Queensland Premier League, I think it used to be called, and jumped around Gold Coast United. Gold Coast City was called back then when it transitioned from Palm Beach, so kind of had that experience. And then now at Gold Coast Knights, coming back, finishing up in the US and brought on board there. So
so a bit more set now and set with Knights. And,
definitely. It's good to. I came about halfway through last year, and then obviously this whole season. So really settled in well there and loving it.
What is it most you love about the Knights?
It's good culture. I think the Croatian community, the backing. It's a good facility as well. Everyone. I mean, this year the pitch has been a bit tough with all the rain, but generally the pitch is really good. The facility is quite good. They look after us really well, and the Croatian community backing us is really nice to have.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Steve, you've been with Olympic for the last 5 years and had been a part of some very good Olympic teams. Obviously part of the Mariners in the youth setup, and also a stint to the US with Seattle. Do you want to tell us a bit about that and a bit about your journey?
Grew up on the Central Coast. Back then it was a sort of not a pub team, but you just play for your local team. There's no real rep thing. To you under 16s, I think. Under 16s you go into it. But I got picked up by the Mariners youth team at 15 and was in there for a long time. And then sort of made my way over through the coach John Hutchinson to Seattle and played a season there, which was a good experience in the second team. And then found my way back with Ben, who I was with at the Mariners at Olympic FC.
Yeah, nice. So phone call from Benny and up you come. So how have you enjoyed the last 5 years at Olympic? What's been some good things about it?
It's been good. The first year was a bit different, but the club culture there with the Greeks and the community side to it is very good. The juniors there are pretty good. They look after you, their parents and stuff. They're pretty supportive. Yeah,
and you're heavily involved in the coaching ranks and in and around the club there as well. How's that been for you?
Yeah, it's good. You build a connection with the juniors as well as the parents. There's a lot of kids, which is good, and coaching's good as well.
Yeah, nice. Touching on this season, Austin, we'll start with you. You had a bit of a disappointing year last year, finishing sixth. There was a bit of a sort of turbulent time there for Knights, and not quite to where you would like to be, you'd say. But I finished second this year. Had a great season behind the Premier's Lions. How would you describe this year for you?
Yeah, this year's been better. Obviously, we were very disappointed last year. Sixth just wasn't good enough, not with the club standards. It was a bit of a stop-start year with COVID, coaching stuff and things like that. So not an excuse, but we were disappointed, and then we kind of just said, we wanted to go win it all this year and go for that first place. So, I mean, it's a testament to the standards that the club has that we're disappointed that we finished second and we weren't really pushing Lions as much as we would have liked to come the end of the year. But still second place, getting that home semi is a good thing for the club. But again, we've won that now, moving on and onto the big one. But yeah, this season's been a lot better, definitely, and it's kind of what we aim for. Bit disappointing not to go further, but yeah, we're in the grand final now, so can't really complain about that.
Yeah, and you've had some good signings as well. Like not only at the start of the year with people like Pascal Vita, etc., but then also mid-season with Anthony Polyak as well. How have they been to really sort of help bolster the squad there?
Yeah, the squad looks a lot different than it did last year. So the signings that Scotty was able to bring in early in the year, and then in the mid-season window, we had a few players move on and come to us, and I think that really helped us for this back end of the season, and the squad's in a good place, and I think just the group altogether, the players have really helped. So no, it's been really good. Yeah, great. And Steve, another year, another finals appearance. It's 5 in a row. You've had a bit of a rollercoaster year, like some results not quite going your way. 2 draws to Capalaba, for example, and the likes. But like, how have you managed to stay strong and really sort of push forward for that finals spot?
It has been a bit of a rollercoaster of the season. We lost Jack Glover at the start of the season with ACL, Zach Innocent to work, and then halfway through the year we lost Keegan to the A-League, which was really good. Yeah. But really good for him, because when he first came in, we were like, how is this guy in our league? He was just a freak on the ball and off the ball.
He was,
But yeah, we just adjusted. It took a bit of time when we lost all those players, but in the end we got there. We did drop points, but also we did have very strong performances throughout the year against the top 4 teams and middle teams as well. Yeah.
Also, speaking of signings, like you had Zach Kierpel, who's been quite good for you up front, and helping to replace some of those holes as well. You lost a few boys, but you picked up a few others as well. A couple
definitely.
Of Japanese boys. How have they been helping your team this year?
Yeah, good. Zach's young, he's fresh, he's hungry, he just wants to score goals. He literally just said, I'm here to score goals, and which he's done, which is good.
Good lad.
But Ben's guided him really well. The Japanese boys are good, Taka and Yoshi, they've adjusted well. Yoshi's English barrier is a bit different, but he adjusted, he got there in the end. He's learning English every day, which helps him.
Yeah, nice. And Austin, we'll go back to you. Like you had an amazing game against Lions early in the year. You said you wanted to match Lions this year, and you put 6 goals past them in what is the opening round, obviously after the rain delays and whatnot. Yeah. But what an opening start to your campaign. What a match.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we knew that would be the benchmark or thereabouts at the time. So like you said, we wanted to match them and we wanted to be the best in the league. So it was a good start, definitely. Looking back at it now, a lot's changed since then. They kept kicking on, that's what they do. But yeah, it was a good game. It was a good foundation for us to know that we were 3-1 down in that game. To be as a group and just know we've got the character, we can come back and we can match it, and everything we've worked towards thinking we can match it with the best in the league. Kind of we set the tone from the start with that game. Crazy game, but yeah, it was good to come out like that. And then I think it did, like I said, set the foundation for that character and for the boys to know that when push comes to shove, which it did many times this year, we could come back from being behind it and get results, and sometimes even hang on. So yeah, it was definitely a good start. Yeah. But yeah, no, it was a good game.
Any other games that you had this season that really sort of stand out to you? Or?
Look, we've been through it all this year between red cards and injuries and things like that. So I can't really put my finger on one in particular. That one would definitely be as the first game, and just 6-3 after being behind. So it was it was a crazy one. I need a bit more time to think about so many, but that one stands out for sure. Yeah.
Well, speaking of defeating Lions, you guys are coming off the back of an incredible semi-final win. Zach Kierpel just lost to score goals, and boy did he. Just run us through that game and just the rollercoaster that it was.
Yeah, look, we went with a bit of a different formation, which worked out in the end. It was a rollercoaster of a game. There was, we conceded 8, we scored, they scored, sort of thing. And then we brought Zach on, and he was just hungry to score a goal and just got away in the end.
And shocked with the penalty save in there as well.
Yeah, that was a big relief for me, because apparently I gave away the penalty. But I don't really remember touching anyone, but it was a big relief that he saved that, because that was me.
Yeah, no, great. You always seem to have some epic clashes over the years, so that just goes down as another one.
Yeah,
and good to have one on the Olympic tally there as well. So
definitely.
In terms of signings, a big one for you this year, Austin, was signing Scott McDonald, and just what what a signing that was for you guys to really sort of change the direction of the club. What's it been like having a former Socceroo, former A-Leagues player come not long after finishing a playing career, come and stepping into that coaching role? How's that been?
Yeah, well, exactly. I think that's the key part, is that he was a player not long ago at all. So the fact that he's stepped into a coaching role and come on board with us has been, you know, a huge asset to the club, because he brings that professionalism, because he was involved in it just so, you know, recently. And he had such a decorated career overseas in the A-League as well towards the end. So I think that experience just, you know, can only help a club and get us going in the right direction. So yeah, he's full on, definitely, but that's what we want. And I think the group we have, you know, we want that seriousness, and we don't want to just, you know, come down for a kickabout. So appointing a coach like that kind of matches what we want to do as a group and what the club wants to do.
Yeah. So how does he, like being a former player, like use that to inspire like some of the, I suppose the youth products in your squad there? Like what does he bring to them?
Like I said, he's full on. He brings the intensity for sure. But I think the biggest part for me and for the younger boys is, like, he doesn't just talk the talk as a coach. He's walk the walk. He can, you know, still get out there and jump in and get involved in training.
He was on the card earlier in the season.
He was. We won't talk too much about that. But he still gets involved, and he's very, very hands-on with, you know, certain things, and coaching right down to, you know, every little phase. Sometimes, you know, he'll even pull himself up saying, I'm over-coaching, but that's just because he is just so passionate. And I think as a player so recently, that's just part of what you get with him. Yeah. So for the younger boys, the strikers especially, what a great coach to have, and to be with someone who scored so many goals at a high level. But as a whole, all the players that just really value him being there. Yeah, awesome. And Ben Cahn is obviously probably one of the league's best coaches, not just in probably Queensland, but you'd almost argue in Australia. How has it been playing with someone, playing under Ben Cahn for a number of years, and just what things does he bring to the squad?
Ben's a great coach. I've had him for about 7 to 8 years now. So, you know, when I come back from America, it was a no-brainer to come straight to Olympic with Ben. His standard is so high. The details in sessions, you know, and with the staff as well. So he's obviously got a good staff to help him as well. But his standard for training, the games, you know, he just has a high standard, and the details of everything he does is just high quality.
Yeah, and how it is, not just Ben, but yourself as a senior member of the squad and other senior members of the squad, how do you be resilient? This is like your fifth the grand final, but coming off the back of 4 unsuccessful ones. How do you maintain that resilience, but maintain that drive to really kind of go and get the next one? You know,
I think just every year you want to win it. You know, you have that goal at the start of the season to win it. So every year we've, you know, lost, we've just come back and been like, let's win this one, and just keep pushing and pushing till the end of the season. And you know, we've made 5 grand finals, which is an achievement in itself. Yeah. So hopefully this one, you know, we can take the trophy home.
Well, speaking of the grand final, it's Knights versus Olympic, and it doesn't really get much better than that. 2 of the best supporter clubs, you'd say, in the league. How do you feel with the home fans coming up on the bus?
Yeah, definitely. We saw 2019, the final, the support that they got there from both clubs. So knowing that it's going to be similar, maybe even better support this time, is just a great occasion to be a part of. We want to win it, of course, so we want to make those fans happy and make the journey worth it. So we're looking forward to it as a playing group, and I think the fans are looking forward to getting up and supporting us.
Yeah, and Steve, the Olympic active support, they've been there singing in numbers for a number of years now. I'm sure nothing will change there.
No, nothing's going to change there. They're great.
Looking forward to playing in front of such a big crowd there.
Yeah, you know, I think every year's massive crowd, and I think 2019 where we played Knights was decent, and it was a good crowd from both sides. So I think this one's just going to be even bigger.
Yeah. How are you both feeling ahead of the match? Teams preparing well.
Yeah, I think you're on a high after a semi-final win, both teams, of course, but you know, that's not the job done. It's, you know, just a step in the right direction. So I think the coaching staff for us is at least trying to bring us back down to earth for this week, and to work on a few things, which we've still got a session tonight and a little bit more to do before the weekend. So, but we're in a good spot. A few niggling injuries, which you'd expect, but no, we're in a good place. And getting the mind on the job for the weekend and forgetting about the semi, I think now is most important.
Yeah, and how about yourself, Steve?
Yeah, quite the same. We got brought back down to earth pretty quickly. You know, the next day we're into it straight away, preparing sort of thing.
Nice. Yeah. Fantastic. Well, I'm sure it will be an absolute belter, and I'm very, very much excited for for the game. Obviously, this Saturday at Perry Park, kicking off at 7:30. Tickets are most definitely still available, so I encourage as many of you to come out and see not just these two, but their teams as well in action in what will be hopefully a grand final for the ages. So, Austin, Steve, thank you very much for joining me today. I appreciate it, and all the best for the final.
Thank you.
Alrighty, we're here with the FQPL 1 grand finalists here from Rochdale. We've got Greg Cheshire, and from Redlands United we have Gabby Haywash. Lads, how are we today?
Yeah, good. Thanks.
Good.
Good to be here.
Thanks for joining me. A big match. It's been a big season, and you two boys have really led the way, exchanging blows back and forth all year. How's 2020 been for both of you?
Yeah, look, it's definitely been an up and down year in terms of the rain and all that, but it's been the same as the last 2 years, I guess, with COVID and whatnot. But to definitely have some success, winning the league, getting promoted, and hopefully, winning on Saturday will top it off. Yeah.
Yeah. How about yourself, Greg?
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, it's been we've been pushing for a while to get promotion, so it was good to finally get it this year. Obviously, Redlands pipped us with the league, so not as good as it could have been, but hopefully finish off well on Saturday.
We'll touch a bit more on that promotion stuff, but Gabby, you've been around the NPL at least, and in around the high levels in Queensland football for a number of years now. A lot of time at Pride and a little stint at Strikers there. Now, tell us a bit about your Queensland playing career.
Yeah, so I've been playing in the NPL since I think the inception in 2013. I think it was when I moved down from Cairns. So got a few games racked up, and definitely dropping down into the QPL. I think that's helped. With the experience, and in the rest of the squad, we've definitely got some good experience in that squad, and it's helped us with the success we've had this year. So
so Graham Harvey gave you the call when he moved clubs.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was the head coach of TD at Western Pride for a number of years and had some great success there. What does Graham Harvey bring to you at Redlands?
So he brought me over from Pride initially to coach, and then I ended up signing with the first team. He's definitely brought some stability to the club. Initially coming on as TD, and he's helped the club, in particular the juniors, settle after a few sort of rough years, I guess. And then taking over as head coach at the end of last year, it's definitely gave us a different view and some belief that we can sort of be successful, and hopefully that will show next year in the NPL. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And Greg, you've been at Rochelle for a number of years.
Stalwart.
part of the fabric, mate.
Yeah, that's it, mate.
So tell us a little bit about your journey through Rochelle, because you had a bit of stint at Strikers for a while as well, similar to Gabby, different years.
Following each other. I moved down from Townsville in 2009, so started at Rosedale through like the Prem Youth Resis into the first team back in the Brisbane Premier League days. I had a stint over in England for a couple of years, travelling more than playing, and a bit of fun. But and then I went to Strikers 2017, 2018. To test myself in the NPL mainly. And then as soon as we had sort of promotion relegation start between NPL QPL, came back to Rochdale, and as I said, a long haul, but we got back up.
A lot of things have changed at Rochdale. 2 years ago, the club invested in a new clubhouse and really upgraded the facilities there. And Underwood Park is a fantastic place to play and also watch football as well if you haven't been out there. But how much has that been? Enjoyable to the club and the community.
It's a massive difference. Just we played Victory the other week on a midweek, and just to the boys are walking out on the field, and it's a joy to play there. Like, we're pretty fortunate to be in a local competition and have that sort of facility. We got one of the biggest junior pools as well, so it helps having that for everyone to come down and have the parents watch their kids train and everything. It's good, not just for the first team, but for the whole club.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an amazing setup. It's really quite cool. But it's a testament to the work that the community members, past and presidents have done there. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Gabby, we'll talk to you now for the season, and what a great season it was for you guys at Redlands, winning the league. Obviously in 2021 it was difficult. You didn't have disappointingly got relegated from the league, but it bounced back in such emphatic fashion. Like, how has that been for you and the club?
Yeah, going into this season, we definitely targeted promotion as our main sort of goal. And then the league is obviously a bonus, and as I said before, obviously a grand final win will top it off. But overall, you know, it's been a really good year. The environment within the squads, you know, it's obviously quite upbeat, and going into this weekend, we're definitely confident. You know, although strikers have done us twice already this year, we're definitely confident we can do a job. Yeah.
Yeah, you had some really good form towards the back end of the year as well, and as I was sort of saying earlier, just exchanging blows with Rochdale. The lead was flipping in and out. I think you won 6 from your last 7, maybe including the semi-final there. But just how much does that form, that good run home, sort of help you?
Yeah, it definitely helps. But in saying that, we've been confident all year, to be honest with you. Especially the finish we had to last season, we almost stayed up, even though everyone kind of wrote us off. So we came into the season really confident. It's never really changed throughout. So definitely going into the final, it's kind of been, you know, same as usual, and hopefully, like I said, get a win on the weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. And Greg, Greg, you've played Rochdale twice this year, and walked away with 2 wins.
Yeah.
The first one was.
I don't think we can really count the first one. Yeah, I think they had half the team out, but it was about 40 degrees out of Redlands the first game of the year. But and the second game was as we said before, it could have gone either way, and two cracking goals from Woz got us over the line in the end. But yeah, I think the teams were pretty evenly matched. You can't ask for more than 1v2 in the grand final.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you've been a part of some absolutely roller coaster games. It wasn't just a roller coaster year, but the roller coaster games. We obviously had John McCain on earlier in the year, and he was saying it's like just games at Rochdale are just so insane. You can't take your eye off them.
High scoring affairs, we'll call them.
I'll go just to the game at Mitchelton there, where it was absolutely nuts. Tell us a bit more about that game.
I don't know what happened to this day. No, it was. To be fair, we were down 3-1, and I think it was a midweek game from memory. And to fight back in the second half from 3-1 down to 4-3, we would have been over the moon with that, and then 4-4 in the 93rd minute, and you're going, we've thrown it away. And then, luckily for me, I scored right at the end. I think it was straight off the goal kick. So that was a good one. We needed that one at the time too, from where we were at the table. So that was a big one.
Nice, leading from the front there as well.
Right at the end. Just save it to the end.
So Gabby, you this year obviously getting relegated was sort of interesting with the squad, but you were able to keep the core of your squad together. With a few additions, what was that? How helpful was that?
Definitely keeping some stability there. Carrying over from last season was really good. Obviously, the boys were really familiar with each other. The new additions fit in really well into how Graham wanted us to play, and we definitely showed that, I think, from early on in the season. Although we kind of didn't start the season exactly how we wanted to, but we were, as we've said before, we were kind of depleted going into the start of the season. But found some form, and here we are.
A lot of that can be sort of put down to the form of 2 players, Rio Emoto and Gilly Santana as well. Have had an amazing season. Gilly sharing the golden boot with Marek. Just how much do they mean to your squad?
Yeah, obviously Gilly chips in with a few goals. He's been important for us this year. And then Rio's irreplaceable. I think I think he's one of the best players in the league, and he puts in work week in, week out for us, and he's like I said, I think he's got the talent to sort of go anywhere. That kid,
it's really good to see him in form, and just the season he's had has been unreal. So it's good to see. And I touched before on the joint Golden Boot winners. That's Marek, who's been a new signing to you guys this season. You needed a goal scorer, and who better than Marek Madler?
That's it. And he's worked well with Olade. I think last year we just had O up front, and so teams could sort of target in on him and put 2 players on him, try and take him out of the game. But you've got Olade and Marek, you've got to pick your poison, and they're 2 hard players to handle. So
if one doesn't work, then the other one.
Exactly. So I think Olade's got over 10 as well this year. So it's not just Marek, but it's nice to have him up there. Finish everything off.
Absolutely. And Alex Arillo has chimed in with some absolute corkers this year. Not as many goals, but boy, they were vital.
He's a very important player for us. He's a cracking player. We need him. So long may it continue.
Now, Gary, you're back in the NPL for 2023. Just how much does that mean to the club to bounce straight back?
Yeah, like I said, we targeted promotion as our initial sort of goal going into this season, and we obviously achieved that. As I was saying to Greg before, I think both squads obviously need to have a good off season probably bring in a few players as always happens, and I think hopefully both squads can fight pretty well in the NPL and stay there moving into the following season.
Yeah, it's not just about sort of getting promotion and making up the numbers. It's really about sort of having a crack at it as well.
Exactly,
so it's going to be hard to break into a pretty well established top four over a number of years in that competition, but I think it definitely can be done. Like this year was wild in the NPL with I suppose the race for the battle to stay off for relegation there with some tight matches that are coming down to the final day. So it should be an exciting year for you.
Yeah, for sure. I think going back to my Priders, I think we showed that a team like that can sort of challenge the top teams, and we're hoping next year we can sort of definitely stay in the mix. Obviously, as you said, it's going to be hard to replace those top four teams, but if we can win, a few of those big games, I think that'll put us in good stead.
Yeah, nice. And for a club like Rochdale, have been such a massive club in the Brisbane area for a number of years. Now to finally be in the top of that pyramid, what does it mean for Rochdale?
Oh, it's massive. It gives a pathway to the juniors. As I said before, we've got a big junior pool, so it gives a pathway that they can be NPL here. For us, I think we got to sort of establish ourselves in the NPL now. It's taken a while to get up there. Try and establish yourself in there, and then you're at a club where you can try and attract the best players to try and crack into that top four and be successful. But, it's massive. It's a credit to the work the board and the volunteers and everyone have done over the past couple of years.
Absolutely, and got a new trophy cabinet in the new stadium, so the new clubhouse. Got to hopefully aim for some.
Try and put something in there. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Looking ahead, it's bound to be an absolutely amazing final. We're getting a good turnout from the Redlands juniors.
Yeah, hopefully. We've got some buses lined up to send some juniors and some seniors over there as well. But yeah, 1v2, you can't really get better than that. I think best two teams all year, so hopefully Saturday shows that, and I think it will.
Yeah, and this isn't your first grand final. You're of course in the Western Pride 2017 squad that overcame Moreton Bay. Just can you recount that night for me and what it was like to be part of that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was the whole season was kind of we definitely exceeded what we thought we were going to do that season, and I think credit to obviously the squad back then. We were really hungry, and I think we've got the same sort of hunger now. But definitely got some experience from that final. Although I didn't play in that final, I was on the bench. But
thanks, Graham.
He actually said sorry to me yesterday. But definitely looking to relive some of those memories on Saturday. You don't play in many grand finals, so hopefully we can make it a special one.
Yeah. What about you, Chess? Have you been in any finals?
Yeah. Unfortunately, the 2017 year I'd done my ACL the week before, so I missed that final series. But final series, they're awesome. You can't. The league's the pinnacle, obviously, but it's nice to finish the season on a grand final, and it should be a good atmosphere out at Perry Park.
Yeah.
We've got a big supporter base, so hopefully they come out and as you said, 1v2, best two teams. So. Roll it out, let's go.
It's sure to be an absolute blockbuster. So, very much looking forward to that. Kicking off at 5 o'clock on Saturday at Perry Park. And, tickets are still available for that. So, make sure you get down and witness these two lads and their teams in action. It's sure to be an absolute belter. So, Greg, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thanks
all the best for the final. And on to the FQPL 2 preview ahead of this Friday night's grand final clash. I'm joined here today by Adam Powell, vice captain at the Surfers Paradise Apollo, and Jacob Crane, a midfielder from Wolves FC. Boys, how are we?
Very good, mate. Thanks for having us.
Very good, mate. Cheers for having us.
No worries. Adam, we'll start with you and just a bit about yourself. You played on the coast for a number of years for Broadbeach and Nerang, and this year was your first year at Surfers Paradise Apollo. How has that transition been, stepping up into the FQPL 2?
Yeah, it's been a great year. Surfers have been a good club on the coast for many years anyway. Top of the league last couple of years. So I think coming into a good group is always a bit easier. At the top end, the board and the manager, they want to win. So I think that was kind of the plan from the outset. And look, it's been a good year. We've managed to get the win.
Yeah, nice. And you were saying before you played a professional football in the English 4th Division. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so I think as growing up as a kid in England, everyone wants to be a pro footballer. That's all it is. Lucky enough to get a 2-year scholar and then a 1-year pro with Cheltenham. Our keeper Harvey was in the same boat as well playing, so it's nice to catch up with him here too. It was a great experience, and it was good coming over here. I guess bringing that English style into the Australian game.
Yeah, nice. So you moved over here in 2015, was it?
2015, yeah. I was 19, which is good.
Yeah, straight to the coast. And,
straight to Broadbeach at the time. Again, we're a great club. Spent 3 or 4 years there before moving with the team when the coach turned around. And then parting ways to join Surfers this year.
Yeah, nice. So trading the English rain for the Australian beach life.
Didn't feel like that last year. Yeah, a bit of rain last year for us here. But no, it's been great. I think getting used to the heat was a big factor coming over. But yeah, pretty acclimatised now, which is good.
Yeah, nice. And Jacob, you've been a Wolves boy through and through. Your parents are very heavily ingrained into the club and been a part of the coaching ranks over the years. How have you enjoyed your time at Wolves?
Yeah, obviously it's been great. I think I've been there, I think this is my 5th year now at Wolves.
Yep.
So yeah, I've been there ever since I was about 16, 15 years old. So yeah, it's been great. It's always good to give back, help out the junior development, and hopefully they can push to aspire to get to where we are now in the first team sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
No, Wolves been great.
Yeah, and so obviously you came up through the junior ranks and you were a junior player of the year in the FQPL 1 last year.
Yeah.
How does that sort of help inspire you to sort of inspire the other juniors within your club?
Yeah, obviously Max got it the year before me, so Max Mikler got it in...
Yeah, true.
Yeah, 2020, I got it 2021, so it's always good for the younger kids to see that young kids are actually getting a chance in the first team and they're sort of, showing themselves on the bigger stage. So yeah, it's always pretty inspiring to them.
Yeah, a bit of a trend there and sort of pathway to success with Max on to where he is now.
He's doing great. He's doing really good this year, to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll move on to talking about this season. Adam, a fantastic season for Surfers Paradise Apollo. Arguably favourites walking into this comp, and now thanks to the Connected Pyramids, Surfers came through the playoff final and joining in the FQPL on the South Coast and won the FQPL 2 and moving up to FQPL 1 now. How's the vibe around the group this year?
Amazing. To be fair, I think we're quite aware we're favourites for the season this year, which brings its own pressure. I think the lads have kind of carried that well, perform week in, week out. It would have been nice to go the whole season unbeaten. Unfortunately, it came to the end of the last game of the season. But full credit to the coaching staff and then the players as well. Everyone's put in, week out. It's been a real collective effort, and I think we got what we deserved. Yeah.
Obviously, coming from playing in the South Coast leagues for a number of years, and then transitioning into playing into the Brisbane leagues, how was that for away nights and up here in Brisbane?
Yeah, look, really enjoyed it. I think the facilities in Brisbane across the region are probably a level up from the coast, which has been great. Playing against new people, playing on the coast for a number of years, people get to know what you're about. So playing new faces has been great as well. And I think just that level above in terms of standard and the depth teams have got up here. It's been good to get involved with.
Yeah, and even the midweek schedules of washout games are sort of throwing a spanner in the works. There was one game against North Star. Not that they could really help it. The game had been moved to Rob Rock Park and. The power in the suburb went out.
Yeah, not ideal, but it is what it is, right? I think that's part of football. I think we came up the week later and ended up playing on pitch 3, which again has all the ingredients of a sticky away night in Brizzy. But we got 3 points and we got out of there, which again is credit to, I guess, the mentality of the group we've got. Yeah,
and Jacob, your season was a bit of a roller coaster in a way. Obviously coming off the back of a disappointing season last year in relegation from FQPL 1 and then the floods at the start of the year was absolutely devastating to your club. But to build it back for a strong second half of the year, how has that been for the club as a whole?
Yeah, no, it's been great. It's really shown the resilience of the club after obviously only winning about 2 or 3 games last year, getting relegated with a really young team.
Yep.
And then rebuilding basically for the first, I think it was 5-6 weeks, we didn't even train our facilities. We played every single game away.
Yeah, wow.
We were just training in a school,
yeah,
sort of thing. It just shows testament to the character of the boys, really, to just keep resilient and keep going, and then obviously get to the grand final is a really big achievement for us in the club.
Yeah. And so, you had a really good back end of the season, thanks to some key signings from the Solomon Island boys.
Yeah, the 2 Solomon Island boys, Akin and Mika, have been a little bit of a godsend, to be honest. They've been great. They've just given us so much up front in the middle of the park. Akin's really solid in the middle. His ball distribution is crazy.
Yeah.
And Mika's just a clinical striker, clinical finisher, really. He can create, does everything. So
So obviously they're with their national team, the Solomon Islands at the moment, which is unfortunate for you guys coming into finals. But how do you feel you're going to kind of go without them in your squad? Have they given you the belief that you can still do it?
Yeah, for sure. They've picked us up, and I think that we've shown that we can still do it against Ace on last Saturday. We didn't have them, and we still got the result there, and still played really well.
Yeah, it was a strong win too.
Yeah, it was a strong win. We did. We performed really well. It's probably one of our best performances of the year. And even though they're obviously a massive loss, I think we can still go out and put on a show.
Yeah, nice. Should be a very exciting match between the two of you. You had some close encounters this season. What was it like playing against Wynnum Wolves this year?
Yeah, great. I think the style of football you guys look to play is where you want it to be. Everything on the deck, good attitude, good work rate from the lads. I think we'll try and match that as well in terms of the way we play as well. So I think if people coming along, it's going to be a great game, that's for sure.
Yeah. But do you take advantage in the fact that you'll be almost considered the underdogs up against the premiers and after their strong season this year?
Not necessarily take advantage. The premiers for the reason they're the best team in the comp this year. We know no matter what happens, if we're underdogs or if we're favourites, we'll have to go in and put it in a battle and absolutely perform to the best of our ability to take the result home. So
yeah. I suppose an exciting element for both of your teams this year was earning promotion into the FQPL 1. Obviously a good push for Surfers Paradise, and for you guys a bounce straight back up after relegation last year. How are you preparing for FQPL 1 and the challenges that will bring in really increasing the quality of the competition there?
I think the whole club's really excited. Obviously, a brand new venture for us coming out of the Gold Coast League into QPR 2 and then to go up again is massive. I think we really want to keep the core of the lads together. I think we've got a good group, we've got a good spirit. If we can add a bit of quality in there as well, that'd be great because we're going to need it. Obviously, playing against better teams again. We're going back to facilities, looking forward to going to the likes of Strikers, and playing those kind of games. So I know everyone's super keen for it, looking to get the final wrapped up and do the business there to finish off a great season and then get ready to go.
Yeah, how about yourself, Jacob? You're looking forward to getting back in the league and with a bit more of a point to prove this year? Or next year, sorry? Yeah,
for sure. I think we've got a bit to rectify after last year. It was pretty poor performances. But this year we've obviously changed that around, and I think next year we're already putting in sort of like the works to try and really push that league. Sort of go back up and go in with a bang. We don't want to go up to just sort of
to make up the numbers.
We want to properly compete and push to the finals, maybe even promotion. You never know, but
Well, I'm looking forward to next year. It will be great, but more importantly, I'm looking forward to what Friday night will bring. Bringing lots of fans up from the Surfers Paradise. Got the under-23s playing as well, which is good to see.
Yeah, that'd be really good. They'll stick around. They've been a great support all year, to be fair, hanging around and helping us out, which we've tried to do for them as well. I think there's a few coming up making the drive, so it should be a great night for sure.
Yeah, nice. Jacob, you're bringing down a good junior contingent from your club?
Yes, I think we're bringing pretty much every NPL junior team that we can.
Awesome.
So there should be a lot of Wolves people there to watch the final,
Fantastic. Well, that's the stuff we love to see for an FQPL 2 final. And I'm sure it'll be an absolutely belting match. I'm very much looking forward to it. So thanks for joining me today on the show, and all the best for Friday night's game.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
Well, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's episode of the FQ Show. It was fantastic to catch up with all 6 teams ahead of this weekend's finals series clashes. It's going to be a great day out and night on Friday night at Perry Park this weekend. Tickets are still available, so make sure you head to our website, to the Super September page, where you can get all your tickets and check out all the coverage across our social media channels. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.